and welcome into another episode of Force Takeaways. We've got a great episode for you today. We're going to get into all the big trades that happened in the post-June 1st era here in the NBA calendar. But first, I'd like to, for the first time in the show's history, I'd like to issue a correction from last week when I accidentally misspoke and said that when we were talking about last year's NBA Finals, I said that the OKC won in 6 and that Halliburton got injured in Game 1. That was not what happened. The series went 7 games, and Halliburton tore his ACL in the first quarter of the 7th game. Just want to make sure everyone understands. My ball knower grade took a couple. I got a couple points taken off for that one. I'm sorry, but that was such a traumatizing event that I just misremembered it, and I wanted to correct myself on that one. So, Jake the Snake, I'll now give the floor to you to issue your statement regarding Chet Holmgren.
You fucked up, Chet. You fucked us. Your scrawny white ass walked in the Chesapeake or Paycom Center, whatever the fuck it is now. It's always going to be the Ford Center to me.
The Pay Pig Center?
The Pay Pigs and the Piss Pig Center, sitting right there on the splash zone. But you fucked up, and you broke the hearts of thousands of grubby, spoiled little Thunder fans everywhere. Yeah, you fucked up, man. Shit can't fly. If what we're going for is a dynasty, you gotta go. You're too small. You need to get your weight up. You need to fucking get sent. Your ass needs to get sent to like Milwaukee or like Washington or somewhere.
Oh God, not Washington.
Yeah, they should send him to one of the fuck off franchises.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But yeah, I think he's got to go. Look, you're a brilliant scorer, young man. You're a true scarecrow freak of nature. I would never want to see you naked. Could you imagine seeing him nude and just the side of his happy trail would upset me because I don't know. There's something about seeing body hair and ribs where it's like if I'm seeing
he's got to. That being said, he's got to bulk up. He's got to go protein mode in this offseason. There was a really funny graphic. When people make those like sports news graphics of the player saying something like stupid and funny, that somebody did one of Jokic talking about Chet Holmgren and said, I think he needs to be fatter, to be honest.
Yeah,
and he was right.
He's right. You need to go to hang out in Eastern Europe, just drinking beers and smoking cigs in the middle of the day, and then like running the court with all the rest of the Eastern Euro guys and staying in shape. But then you're like drinking beers and eating dough for dinner.
Yeah, just
whatever
having,
the
like,
fuck
beef,
they do.
Just having like
beef
a
dough.
beef stew for every fucking meal.
Yeah, and a big dough roll dumpling.
Big doughy, cheesy
with onions in it. Yeah,
dumpling thing all day long.
Yeah, eat that shit, you dumb fuck, and get fat and get the fuck out of Oklahoma City so we can make room for a guy that actually hangs a fat pair of nuts that can play a little defense, you dumb bitch. I told you to quit playing like a private school boy, and you played like even more of a private school boy, you fucking embarrassment.
Jeez.
You ugly trailer trash embarrassment.
Oh my God.
Fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
The NBA Finals start tonight. You'll probably be hearing this when the games one has already been played. But
go Knicks.
I think it's gonna be a great series. I've been going back and forth.
Another thing I want to say.
Oh, go ahead.
Anthony, please, really quick, is like I was saying this. I noticed this during the playoffs, but like Wemby is kind of like a whiny little bitch. He whines a lot. He throws a lot of fits, but he's also dirty, but in like a bratty way. Do you know what I mean? Like he throws like elbows in a pissy little shit kid bratty way. Like he gets mad. He's like the kid that like there's the angry weird kid that bites himself, and then there's the angry weird kid that hurts other kids, and he's the latter.
He's both.
Chet Holmgren,
he's both actually. He bit. Remember after the Luke Cornett block, he bit his fist really hard. I was like, that's kind of weird, like really hard.
Well, he's
but
French.
Also the thing about his elbows is people are like, oh, he's throwing his elbows around. I'm like, okay, well his upper part of his arm is 4 feet long. It's a little
He's
hard
doing.
to.
Oh, come on. He's doing this on purpose, though, dude.
He
Like,
is.
he's.
I think he is a little bit.
Come on. Don't give me that. It's such a Colin Coward excuse. Like, don't. You're so much better than that, Anthony. I know. Fuck the Thunder. And look, I'll say it too. Fuck
Burn.
the Thunder. Fuck the Thunder. Shea plays an aesthetically displeasing variant of basketball, even though like he doesn't have to do that to be a tremendous player and scorer and like creator. That shit sucks, and he needs to knock it off. But Wemby is a fucking bitch.
Oh my gosh.
I am excited about the series. I do think that it's 5 games tops, though. I think that that the
Really?
Knicks would have. I think the Knicks would have wrecked the Thunder too. I don't think. I think the Spurs are awesome, and they really did like. Look, OKC is a streaky team, and it caught up to them in this Western Conference Finals. It almost caught up to them last year twice. They were streaky, and then they couldn't swing nuts in the paint. And unfortunately, the Spurs had this big freak that could. But I think that the Knicks, the way they score and the way they play defense on top of that, Jalen Brunson notwithstanding, is just it's gonna over fucking whelm the Spurs. And I think Karl Anthony Towns is gonna absolutely bully Wemby because he's big.
I think that's the X factor is Cat guarding Wemby. Like Cat is about as good of a Wemby stop. Now, not that there is anyone that can like dominate him, but like it's due to his outside shooting threat. Like Cat is going to be behind the perimeter, which will pull Wemby out a little bit and open up the lane and the basket.
It's going to open
like,
lanes.
But the Spurs know that. The Spurs are smart enough to know that already, and I'm sure they'll have a counterattack, and that's going to be fun to watch. Is their little chess
you know
match.
What? Enough of Greg Popovich coming into the locker room and giving them like strategy, right? Like, quit talking to the team. You retired. Fuck off. That should not be allowed.
He's still technically like an advisor, though, and he's never gonna.
Okay.
He's never gonna go.
Keep him in the booth. No, he shouldn't be allowed to go address the team like a coach. He's not the coach. He quit. He was too scared of being an NBA coach anymore. He pushed out, and he's like, I want to be at a desk. I don't want to travel. Well, then guess what? You can't do the other thing.
He like got cancer or something. That's why he had to retire. All these like 83.
He quit. So you don't get to keep doing. I don't get to show up at the logistics company and like get reroute shipments when I'm fucking bored.
Okay, 70.
I quit. I quit that career. I left it behind. It's gone. Move on. You old fucking loser.
Oh my god.
Like, get a hobby. Go fishing or something. You quit your job. Fuck off. I'm serious. That pisses me off. That's an unfair advantage. Hall of Fame coach that's not the coach anymore.
He's one of the most beloved figures in basketball.
Hey, guess what? I really like Pop. I think Pop is a wonderful person. I met him one time. I shook his hand. I got to shake his hand in Oklahoma City. He was very nice to me.
Whoa, really?
Yes. My parents love going to this one payway, and it used to embarrass me. But I saw Greg Popovich at a payway.
What's payway?
Payway is like it's like a fast casual version of PF Chang's.
Oh, I'm thinking. I thought it was like PAYWAY. I thought you were talking about a truck stop.
He saw me staring at him. No one else knew who he was. He saw me staring at him. This is like when I was in college, and then he like kind of like walked by our table and said, "Hey, man." And I got up and shook his hand and said, like, "Hey, Pop." Like, it was a playoff series. Like, he was in town. And apparently he loves fucking payway.
That's
and like,
awesome.
He has said good things.
I did not know that.
He has said good things about Oklahoma City and their fans. And like, yeah, we are respectful to him or whatever. But you can't do your job when it's not your job. That shit pisses me off.
Well, you can't go be. He's still connected with the team. I mean, you can't.
Okay, in a different role. Do that role. You're not going in. You can't go into the locker room and coach the team. You quit that job. You shouldn't be able to give them a competitive advantage by giving them a like fresh coaching perspective. That's unfair. That is unfair. He gets to watch the game from a box or whatever, and then just go down there whenever he has an idea. That's horseshit.
I think when you win 5 titles, you're kind of allowed to do stuff like that.
Then that's the problem. It's an issue of entitlement. Don't we have old white guys refusing to stop doing their jobs, ruining this country enough? And now we have to have it in sports? I'm just sick of old white men feeling so entitled to these high-ranking jobs, and they're not even gonna look. It's like that's like if Trump stepped down, quit being the president, and then came back and was always talking to JD Vance and giving him ideas, and JD Vance was doing the ideas. That would make you mad, Anthony. That would make you very mad if Trump was still influencing.
Well, as far as the finals goes, to get back to that for a second, I think.
But you do agree with me that Pop should fuck off.
No, I don't agree with
you. Thank you. Finally, somebody does.
I just want to put that down. Put that in the log. I was leaning Knicks, and I thought the Knicks would be able to handle it, but honestly, the Spurs have been proving me wrong all postseason. I said on the show I thought Minnesota would beat them. I thought the Thunder would beat them. I thought the Thunder had more depth than them, which they do. The Knicks have more depth than the Spurs, but they just, keep winning. They just do it. So I'm kind of at this point, I'm saying Spurs in 7.
Okay, fair enough.
And I know that's crazy, and I don't think
what happened in '99.
I'm not I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks won in 6 or. I definitely think it's going 6 or 7 games though, for sure. I think it's gonna be a long series. And originally I thought I was gonna say Knicks in 6, but now I'm saying Spurs in 7.
Suns in 5.
Who knows? After tonight, everything's gonna be flipped on its head. But here's my prediction for tonight's game. Is Game 1, which if you're listening to this, it's already over. So might be totally stupid and wrong. But I think tonight's gonna be sort of a sloppy, low-scoring game because both teams have had a lot of time, especially the Knicks have had a lot of time off. There's a lot of pressure. No one. I don't think. I'm not sure if anyone on the roster has finals experience on either team. Really, almost very little to none. Mike Brown was an assistant coach in the finals, but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a sloppy, defensive, low-scoring game, and I think the Knicks will win. Game 1.
No, it's maybe 91 to 82 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Cool. I think it's going to be more of a 126 to 93 type of game affair.
Oh, like an ass beating.
Like an ass beating, Wemby gets into foul trouble or something early. They have to sit an important part of the game, and the Knicks go on a run, and the Spurs just aren't built to play. The Spurs aren't built to score like that and keep up like that. They play a different brand of basketball, and that's why I was half surprised that the Thunder lost in 7 games. But the Thunder are a streaky team, and they just went cold at home. And if they go cold at home, it's over. It's what happened in Game 1 of the series. Game 1, this series was bookended by Thunder performances at bad offensive games at home with turnovers and poor rebounding, and then streaky shooting. I do think that the Knicks are just built. They're a machine. They feel like a team of destiny to me. I know that
they really do. They really do.
Those are this great story, and they have this alien freak and an ancient Nazi wizard helping them. So that's cool or whatever. But I got Knicks, New York. Here's to you, New York. It's a fucking basketball town. San Antonio is not. The Larry O'Brien going to the Big Apple and then having a parade that goes through Times Square into fucking Central Park is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I fucking love this city. This is the best fucking city on the face of the earth.
This league.
And I fucking love this city. And I know we don't all see eye to eye, but I fucking love every other New Yorker. And I'm so fucking proud of this basketball team.
Do it a little bit. Accent went into
it's going to unite.
Boston vibes there for a second.
I know. I slipped into Boston. That's why I got louder. But I'm just telling you, the Knicks are gonna unite Mom Donnie's fractured New York. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be bigger than the 0-1 Yankees in 9/11.
But they lost that World Series though. Famously lost it to Arizona.
Does anyone remember that the Diamondbacks won that World Series? No. You know what they remember is they remember Mike Piazza's home run, and that's it. So that's the most important home run in the history of counterterrorism, buddy. Okay.
So another thing I want to address this week that I sort of purposely ignored last week is the Avalanche season coming to a devastating end. They were embarrassingly swept by the Vegas Golden Knights in the Western Conference Finals after winning the President's Trophy and having someone from the team nominated as finalists in almost every season-ending award, including the GM. The Avalanche GM, Chris McFarland, was a finalist for GM of the Year, and he's gone. He is now the GM of the Nashville Predators already. Just a crazy ending to the season. Never saw that coming. Joe Sakic is going to take over GM duties. Avs legend Joe Sakic, who has been the GM in the past and was just like a front office position. He's going to do GM stuff for the draft and free agency while they probably
he'll bounce the books.
Or maybe not. Maybe they stay with him. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens too. But
that's really nice of him to do that, to get in there and be like, all right, what's the QuickBooks password?
Yeah. Oh, it's the same.
Is it still Joey Ice? Oh, you changed it?
Is it still fuck the Blues? 47 exclamation point.
Yeah, is it still I want to watch the Blues fuck my life?
But yeah, President's Trophy winners to getting swept in the conference finals really fucking sucks. Also, Cale Makar is going to be an unrestricted free agent after this season. It's scary. Really? I don't know what's going to people want the coach fired, but they re-sign the coach. But when you have this embarrassing...
Is he like Nick Sirianni?
No. He's beloved. But when you lose this badly, people are like, something's got to change. People want something different, and I don't know what you do. But they got rid of the GM, even though he was a pretty fucking good GM. I think they need to get better goaltending. And last night was game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I didn't watch it. I didn't even check the score until right before I went to bed. The Knights won. But I was watching the AHL Western Conference Finals. The Colorado Eagles and the Chicago Wolves are battling for a chance to win the AHL Finals.
The Wolves, no offense.
The Eagles won last night to take a 2-1 series lead.
Go Birds.
Eagles have that's what I wanted to tell you is that I finally have a Birds team, so now I can say go Birds.
Fuck yeah, I'll do that with you. I'm sorry our Avs lost.
That's okay. It's all right.
This went from being a very expensive summer, championship shirt wise for me to potentially not at all.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny what happens when you count your eggs, you count your chickens before they hatch?
Yeah. But the Eagles have a player named Ivan. His first and last name is both Ivan. He spent some time with the Avalanche last season, but now he's down in the AHL.
Does he speak English?
Yeah, he speaks English. He's Russian though. And he scored the game-winning goal with a minute to go. The game was in Chicago, and it was tied at 2. He scored with a minute left to silence the crowd. And I like the Wolves. I'm not a hater. Chicago Wolves are they have a cool logo.
You're a Colorado guy.
I'm a Colorado guy, and the Wolves aren't even
Colorado guy, dude.
They're not even they're the affiliates. These contracts change. They move hands a lot, and they're not always geographically make sense. And the Chicago Wolves are the affiliate of
Canadian ones.
They're the affiliate of the Carolina Hurricanes, which is kind of strange. But two of the best systems in hockey are going against each other right now. Avs have a great farm system.
Did Ivan play in the NHL?
He did, yeah. He has had some appearances with the Avalanche, I recall. But I
like that. I want him to come back. I want him to have a really good cup, and then they call him up. And maybe Ivan. I love Ivan.
Their goalie is really good too. They have a goalie named Trent Miner who's had a few shutouts in the playoffs, and I think he's definitely a candidate to be called up. And they also signed. They just signed somebody too. So
it's like texting him, not understanding that it's just a last name.
I heard what you said, girl. Why
Speaking are you such a really quick, Anthony, if I may, do a pop culture moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of pop singers being into minors, we all know that the Michael Jackson biopic has absolutely been, bending over and cornholing a drugged box office. Right?
Jesus.
The box office has slipped a little Jesus juice. And now Michael Jackson movie has moonwalked in there and it's just absolutely christening that butthole. Making a lot of money. On the heels of that, Netflix released a new Michael Jackson documentary focusing on his acquittal in 2002 and the fallout, with like never before given interviews with people close to him that lived with him, and like rare archival footage, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the revelations from this documentary was that he had a young, like 14-year-old boy living with him at the time. He's 12 to 14, living with him at the time, and he had like a nickname for this kid that has come out in a documentary. And do you want to know what he would call this minor little boy that lived in his house with him?
What's that?
He called him Blowhole.
Oh God, Mike.
And there is like a note that they say where it's like, "I love you, Daddy Michael. Love your son Blowhole."
Your son?
Yeah, Blowhole. No, it's okay. You're my son. You're my son. You're a little dolphin. Let me plug your blowhole.
He loves whales. That's why I named him that.
Oh, yeah, he loves it. Ooh, y'all, we're just being innocent. We're children.
Did you watch? So you watched this whole? Is it like a series or is it just like a 2-hour thing?
I've been reading about it. I cannot. I have a hard time consuming media with that depicts
child abuse.
Child abuse, yeah.
Because I just curious. I want to know if you watch it. I'm curious to know if it's like actually if it's like actually critical of him and like exposes bad stuff. Because I feel like
it sounds like it does.
I've seen a lot of discourse recently
it sounds
about
like it's
how
kind of damning.
Like documentaries that expose powerful people for doing bad stuff are like kind of hard to find nowadays because it's so hard to get funding to make a movie without a rich person who has are often pedophiles and child abusers and don't want that stuff to be uncovered. I would just be curious to know how actually critical it is of
that's actually why I quit stand up. I saw myself gaining more and more traction, and I was like, you know what, I don't know how big this thing is going to get. I do not want to end up fucking children, so I'm just going to step away from the entertainment business. I had to. That's why I moved to Arizona, so I wouldn't end up fucking children. Nice. Instead, I'm raising one. But good luck to everyone still chasing the dream.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people are like, that comedians are trying to get famous. That comedians I know are trying to get famous so they can have sex with children, but there are more than one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And I can name actual names on the show if you want me to.
Oh, we'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
Maybe now we can get into
maybe we can power rank like the top like suspected pedophiles in our lives for like off-season content.
Well, I mean, there's pedophiles in all walks of life, and we'll have plenty of.
Should we power rank like? Should we like do a weekly power ranking of like power broker pedophiles like across the world, like your Netanyahus, your Trumps, et cetera, et cetera?
No, I'm not really interested in.
Trump is down 3 spots. Pedophile watch.
Let's get into the. Do you want to do Myles Garrett first or AJ Brown first? I know you have a lot to say about AJ Brown. I'm dying to hear your thoughts on it.
Let's do AJ Brown. I don't have that much to say. How I feel about the AJ Brown.
Before you get into that, I just want to add, because I know you have a lot on it. My thing is just the Patriots. Patriots really haven't had a lot of good wide receivers this decade. No. So they're kind of bad. They're banking a lot on AJ Brown to be actually good. And I have here pulled up the receiving leaders for the Patriots in the 2020s decade, and only 3 of them are actually wide receivers. Number 1 is Hunter Henry, a tight end. Number 2 is Jacoby Myers, who's, a solid receiver. Kendrick Bourne, solid. Demario Douglas, okay, kind of weird. And then number 5 is Ramondre Stevenson, who's like a great all-around back. But after having a couple days to digest the AJ Brown to the Patriots news, which we all kind of knew was going to happen one way or another, whether it's the Patriots or who else, Patriots was the most likely one. But yeah, my thing was just like, boy, the Patriots could really use like alpha, like top of the league wide receiver. Is AJ Brown going to be that for them? We don't think so.
Going to be the closest thing they've had since Randy Moss.
Yeah.
He's going to be the best receiver they've had on their
now.
team since Julian Edelman. But he's also going to be 29 with declining explosion. We're seeing how he soured on the locker room because he wasn't the focal point of an offense, and like his personal stats weren't thriving, and he kind of like blew things up, and was like, it seems like he was the source of a lot of that sourness in the locker room, because even yesterday, like, they interviewed multiple players who were like, yeah, we're just relieved this is over. We're learning a new offense. We have a lot going on. Like, I don't have much to say about this. Like, it kind of seems like nobody said anything bad about the guy. And some people said the good stuff about him. Like, he's my friend. Like, I always loved that guy. He pushed me hard. Like, he made really good friends with like Cooper DeJean, and like would tell like Cooper DeJean he was an all pro, and like really pushed Cooper DeJean. He was a good teammate. But then he was a bad locker room presence. And like people got so sick of answering questions about him. And like I just don't think he's worth it. And I think that like there hasn't been a lot of news speculation surrounding, right? Like there haven't been a lot of articles that are actually like, well, hey, wait a second. He kind of seems like he's the problem here, right? But I think that we're starting to see people come around to that conclusion when they're like looking at his like. So there were 2 blockbuster trades yesterday, and I think that they reveal some things about each other. Especially when you look back a couple months ago when Jerry Jeudy was traded to the Broncos. What the Broncos gave up for Jerry Jeudy
to the Browns, you mean?
What the Broncos gave up to trade for Jerry Jeudy? Yeah, they gave up a lot. It seems like there was a lot more traded for Jerry Jeudy than AJ Brown. And I think that reveals what the league thinks about AJ Brown. I think it also kind of like, usually after big moves like this, and I know this has been kind of a foregone conclusion for a while, but it doesn't seem like there were a lot of teams trying to get in on this. And I know that AJ had a no trade clause, so like he kind of chose where he wanted to go, and he pushed his way towards New England. But if people really wanted him, they would have gone after him. And the team can always convince like a player to like accept a trade. They can do things like adding guaranteed money and shit.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of shows you what the league thinks about AJ Brown, given the fact that there wasn't like a bonanza for him. He's allegedly a top 3 receiver in the league. Then why weren't there teams lining up to get him? And why hasn't he played? Why hasn't he played a full season? Not including like games sat because we clinched the playoffs. He's hurt all the time. He has declining abilities, and he gave up. He dropped a pass on third down on purpose in the playoffs, and I think everyone knows that. And I think that really damaged his value and reputation. And like that's what the Patriots are getting. Good luck. And like AJ Brown was upset with his quarterback play. Well, have fun in New England, man. Sure, maybe you'll have another 1,500-yard reception, and like your personal stock will be good, so you can like go get endorsement deals or whatever. Like whatever you value, which is not like team success in Super Bowls, clearly. Whatever you value, maybe you'll find it for like a fleeting amount of time. But when you have a quarterback on your team that is an absolute puss on the biggest stage, good luck, man. So like it's good that regular season stats are what he's after, because he's going to get those in New England, and like not Super Bowls, because he's not going to get those. Because if you compare his quarterbacks now, right? Let's compare them, and let's do an easy side by side. Let's compare their Super Bowl losses. Whereas Jalen Hurts had the second best game of his career from a passing efficiency standpoint.
Almost won. I mean, people were talking about he should have won MVP in that game, despite being on the losing team, and I don't think anyone would have really cared, except for Chiefs fans.
And then I'm going to read you Drake May Super Bowl stats.
Please. I'm getting
295 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Those touchdowns came in garbage time. Or one of them did. He was 27 for 43. So that's 62% completion percentage pre-garbage for 295 yards. He fumbled. He lost a fumble. He was sacked 6 times for a loss of 43 yards. And I think what is really like exposing about Drake May and who he is as a quarterback is the fact that like he was getting his shit kicked in all game, right? But then in the fourth quarter, when the game was out of reach, um, there are 2 back-to-back drives he leads where he's like standing in the pocket and he's delivering these throws while he has like pressure on his face. And like he's not doing that when he thinks that New England is still in the game. He's doing that once he's relaxed and knows that they're out. So what I'm saying
should be noted too that Will Campbell was a total,
yeah, he was absolute ass.
And which leads to the point that the Patriots offensive line is nowhere near. It's like all right, but it's not as good as the Eagles.
Yeah, Will Campbell sucks. They had to go sign somebody and they're going to bump him into guard because he was so bad and he was the 4th overall pick. So like that's the kind of like a team with very limited depth, a pretty decent defense, yes. But he's going to be very frustrated playing with Drake May, especially when they're not playing shitty, beating up on shitty little teams. Like he was bad in the playoffs, man. It wasn't just the Super Bowl. He holds on to the ball. He takes sacks. He turns the ball over. Like, what's going to happen when AJ Brown doesn't like playing with this guy?
Because he also had a really easy schedule. We were talking about how easy of a schedule he had all throughout the regular season too. What's it like this year? Let's see. I'll bring that up. See what they have.
Yeah, strength of schedule. Like who are they playing? Well, they're going to have the second hardest schedule because they're the Super Bowl runner-up. That's how that works.
Right.
So, yeah, and if like AJ Brown has lost a step and can't get open, or just gets bored or pissed off, or like is in a bad mood because he didn't get the game with Janky Rondo the night before. Like fuck AJ Brown. He's like people think he's a good guy because he doesn't talk much, but he's a malcontent little baby.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are a big candidate, and I don't think this is even that hot of a take that they're a major candidate for regression.
Yep, and that's
not
that's
that
what I like.
Not that they're gonna like crater and have a horrible 5-win season or something, but they ain't fucking winning that division.
They're not. Yeah, and like honestly, they were ahead of schedule last year, but last year, and people were saying this during the run, like that might have been their year. Like they have lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Because people were very surprised that happened, right? So the recency bias is like really inflating some shit. But either way, I digress. I like that the Eagles have their 2028 pick because that gives them 2 years for this shit to collapse, and then that'll be you know what I mean? Like, I would rather have the 2028 first rounder because that's 2 years of being shitty. You're like, if this falls apart, you might be in a minor rebuild in the 2027 regular season. You know what I mean? Especially let's say like Vrabel, like we don't know what's going to happen with this Vrabel stuff. Like there are still a lot of weird unknowns about this team. So I think taking their first round pick 2 years out is actually kind of smart because it's all a lottery ticket. So like, I don't know, you're kind of loading the dice in a sense.
I'm looking at I decided to look up the
that could become a top 10 pick, you know?
I'm looking at
they picked top 4 the year before.
I'm just looking at FanDuel's Super Bowl odds. And the Rams are number 1 after the Myles Garrett trade, which we'll talk about next. Then it's the Seahawks, Ravens, Bills, and then the Patriots. The Patriots are ahead of, and then it's the Chargers, Chiefs, Niners, Lions, Eagles, then the Broncos. I'm sorry, the Broncos should be way higher. The Broncos are one of the most all-in teams in the league.
Yeah, the Eagles should be ahead of the Ravens.
The Patriots and Chargers need to get especially the Chargers. I understand that the Patriots were in the Super Bowl last year, and again, I'll reiterate, these betting odds are not like true odds. They're not like real calculated. This is a market. This is like a money making thing here. Like these aren't like a math genius coming up with these like true logical odds. These are like a way to make money from stupid idiots. So I understand why you have to take that into account when you're looking at stuff like this, but still pretty annoying that not only are the Patriots and Chargers ahead of the Broncos, but the Texans have the same odds as the Broncos, which is, I'm sorry, but no. Just the Texans things are really starting to bother me, I gotta say. I understand that their defense is just as good, if not a little bit better than the Broncos, because they have more, they have like depth, but no. CJ Stroud and that offense, it was barely fucking hanging on by a thread by the end of that season. Like, you just give me a break with this Texans shit. I'm really over them. They're starting to piss me off. They're becoming my new team that I like disproportionately hate. I gotta say,
The Texans. The Texans are weird. Are they gonna? Do you think they're gonna extend CJ Stroud?
I mean, we'll see what happens this year. They're gonna have to pay him a lot of money one way or another, but it's like, should he get paid the same amount as somebody like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or something like that? I don't think so. I just don't. I mean, you could
I think
say
he's gonna get top of the market money. I think Baker Mayfield is gonna get like a contract and like, I don't know. I think we're gonna see things because there's another wave of QBs that are due
right
to get paid now.
Their fifth year.
Yeah,
fourth year, whatever
Jaden
stuff going on.
Daniels. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is going to be looking at an extension too.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Probably they start talking about Caleb if he has another really good year.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of Chicago, let's get into the Bears stadium fiasco.
Let's get into Richard Gere's performance.
This is
that movie.
This is something that I've been like, it's been on the back burner. There's been a couple weeks where I'm like, should we talk about this? And then I don't even bring it up because I'm like, it's boring and it's whatever. But it just continues to fucking drag on, and it I don't want to say culminated because that's the whole thing about this stupid fiasco is that it's like the nothing ever happens meme. It's just like Chicago, the Bears owners being like, oh yeah, we bought this property in Arlington Heights, or we struck this deal with Hammond. And it's like nothing is going to happen. And
Michael's going to play at the new arena.
A lot of the it's definitely a purity test or like a virtue signaling thing where I can tell what your politics are based on what you think about this, because all of the shitty fucking pig-faced morons in Chicago's talk sports radio, they're all saying stuff like, Illinois is blowing it again. These politicians can't be trusted. Wow, they're really screwing this up. Springfield is really screwing this up. And I'm like, what do they have to do with it? Why is it their responsibility to keep the Bears in Chicago? And if you're a left-wing person, your thoughts should be the billionaire owners of this team, that's one of the most profitable sports franchises on the continent, should be able to buy a new fucking stadium. Like, go fuck yourself with this bullshit. Why? They basically don't want to pay taxes. They want to get a special deal from either Chicago or Arlington Heights or Hammond or
tax money
or wherever to have to avoid paying taxes.
Subsidize the taxes.
To either get subsidized taxes or to just straight up not pay taxes and be like, oh, we promise we'll give you like $1 million in 40 years. We'll just pay it directly
public
into
school
this
kids.
fund.
We'll let like 14 of them walk on the field wearing a T-shirt of like a fake charity we put together, and we'll say we're pledging money to them that we never give. We'll do that.
They're like, oh yeah, we create jobs, and it's like, does a football stadium really create jobs, or is it like 70 food vendors 8 times a year? That's not really like creating jobs. That's not like building a factory or something like that. It's
seasonal work at best.
There's a really good quote here. There's an article in the Chicago Tribune. I want to give shout out to Rick Pearson and Jeremy Gorner, who wrote this article and got a nice quote from this
I'm a Gornographer.
Illinois. This is a state lawmaker, Don Harmon from Oak Park, says, there was an enormous undercurrent in our caucus to not do anything. He's talking about state level Illinois Democrats. People are worried about neighbors being thrown off of food stamps, people not being able to keep up with inflation because their wages aren't coming up, losing their health care because hospitals and healthcare providers that serve them are being undercut by Washington. There was no appetite at all to provide public dollars to a $10 billion sports franchise. Bars, dude.
Talk your shit, Don.
Fuck yeah, Don.
Like, fuck these people, dude. And just to contrast this, sorry to be a homer, but just to contrast this with the Broncos ownership group getting a stadium deal done, who would, not to defend the evil, the Walmart family and Condoleezza Rice and Frankenstein and Dracula and all the other horrible members of Broncos ownership group.
Besmirch the Walton Sports Management name, please. Thank you. The Walton Family Sports Management Group. Don't.
But
I love them.
They just purchased a site with their own money. They just spent $45 million just buying an empty piece of land from the city, and are going to put a stadium there. Like, see, how hard
Where
is
are they
that?
going to put the stadium?
How fucking hard is that? In Denver, like in the city limits.
Awesome.
Just like not that far from where the stadium is now. It's just in basically an abandoned trail yard.
Mile High and Coors Field are examples of how to perfectly have a stadium in like the heart of your city. It's so beautiful.
And Ball Arena too. That. I don't know what other, especially nowadays with all these stadiums moving to suburbs. I don't know. I'd like to know another major American city that has all 4 franchises playing within their city limits. The Nuggets, Avalanche, Broncos, and Rockies all play in the city of Denver, and not like on the outskirts, away in a weird
in the fucking Pepsi Center,
town.
baby.
It's like right fucking there.
Do you love the Pepsi Center or what? Be honest with me.
I love the Pepsi Center, baby.
So do I.
That's where
Carmelo Anthony. Oh, dude, Carmelo Anthony in the silky blue jersey.
Doesn't get any better than that.
When we were like preteen boys, that was the shit. Even like I didn't come from a lot of money, but like we had cool basketball. Football players could still knock each other out, and you had Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. That's like all you fucking needed, dude.
All a boy needs.
Yeah, softcore, all the softcore porn you could ask for on Showtime. We really lived in the hype. Like, we lived in the last era of like an enjoyable preteen youth, I believe, before like cell phones and like body dysmorphia at 9 years old and like 8-year-olds hanging themselves because they're getting bullied online. Like, we really knocked it out of the park.
I'll still see random like unks wearing the Carmelo jersey, the Denver Carmelo jersey.
I almost got one.
Chicago sometimes.
I love Carmelo, dude. I was looking at a Carmelo Knicks jersey and a Carmelo Blazers jersey.
Carmelo Thunder jersey, how about?
Carmelo Thunder, they're way more expensive to get because they didn't print as many. I knew that Big 3 wasn't going to work, but it was exciting.
Yeah, he never really was on. What was like the best team he was even on? Okay, sorry.
Probably that Nuggets team that went to the. Didn't he go to the Western Conference Finals with the Nuggets?
Yeah, they went to the Western Finals in 2009 and lost to the fucking Lakers, unfortunately. Which I mean, we can save that for
great shot.
Another episode. But George Karl deserves far more of the blame for the Nuggets' failures of that era than Carmelo does. Like,
is it George Karl or Don Nelson that is a more beloved players coach? Probably Don Nelson, right?
I mean, I don't think a lot of players would say they are beloved of George Karl.
Okay.
You'd be hard pressed. I mean, please show me a player that's like, boy, I love playing for George Karl, dude. He was awesome.
Well, I just confused George Karl and Don Nelson.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Well, they look like each other. One has like long floppy hair and the other's bald. They look like they could be brothers.
Just to wrap up the Bears Stadium thing, like I'd like to say on the record, the Chicago Bears will never go to Indiana. That's another thing you see a lot of these reactionary fucking slop mongers on sports radio being like, Illinois is blowing it. They're going to move to Gary, and I think it's awesome. I'm going to go to every game. You don't come if you don't want to do it. It's like, no, they're fucking not, you bitch. And if you love Gary so much, why don't you fucking move there?
Move to Illinois.
There's a reason you're all the other all the shit you talk about Illinois and Chicago. We're putting food on your table. You're in the second largest media market in the fucking country, third largest maybe. Go be on sports radio in fucking Evansville then, you asshole. If you love Indiana so much, go fuck yourself. I hate these fucking people. They're never moving to Indiana. I do think there's a chance they'll go to somewhere else in Cook County or Illinois, but there's no way on fucking God's green earth they will ever play a single down or a single shovel will be put in the ground in fucking Hammond, Indiana, or Gary, or wherever the fuck.
If
And
they
that's
do
all I have to say about
play in
that.
Hammond, you're gonna have to let those fucking pigs smoke in that arena, or they're gonna get pissed. It's just a bunch of guys with the fattest fucking necks you've ever seen. Like,
There's
holy
nothing
shit.
over there. It'd be
It's
one thing
just-
if it was like a thriving, bustling metropolis over there. If you drive over in that area where they want to put the stadium, there's not even houses or anything over there. It's just pure like dystopian industrial fucking wasteland. Good luck with that's not happening.
They're gonna
It's a
like
bluff.
they're gonna develop it. They're gonna put a tilted kilt right there. And then like a cold stone creamery. And then
like,
people's necks are just gonna continue to get fucking fat.
And
it's gonna be awesome.
The
Spiky hair and
McCaskey
fat
family, they finally have a successful and exciting Bears team for the first time in fucking 40 years. And they're trying to do the Jerry Reinsdorf playlist from the late 80s. And it's not gonna fucking work, dude. You might maybe over in Kansas City or in Texas you can get there's fucking mouth breathing cattle voters and state lawmakers to approve public funding of a stadium. Not in this part of the country, bro. Not in this part of the country in 2026 in Cook County. You can get the fuck out of here with that shit. Pay every penny of it out of your own pocket or shut the fuck up. Soldier Field is beautiful. I know it's a pain in the ass to get in and out of, and it's cold. And it's not a dome.
Not even.
It's one of the cathedrals of the NFL.
People complain about Soldier Field, don't understand how like car-centric cities and like their stadiums work. Like, I would fucking much rather commute to Soldier Field than drive from where I live right now to State Farm Stadium. I could take a couple of trains and get home. For anywhere on the north side, if I live,
or the south.
Like I live in Chicago. Yeah, I only lived on the north side when I was going because I'm one of those. I'm a white liberal, NPR Topag guy. And in this house, I believe that you should pay for your own stadium, and that J.K. Rowling actually has a couple good points, but not all of it. But she has not everything she says is wrong. But I disagree with her. But in this house, science. And love is love. And also J.K. Rowling is right about like two things, but the rest is all wrong. But also I'm with her. That's the kind of North Sider I was. You know what I'm talking about. I love Soldier Field. I love commuting to Soldier Field. It's great, even when it's cold. Even when Freeburg and I went to the coldest game on earth, it was easy to get home comparatively. Like, people just want to bitch about everything because there are so many people in Chicago that are just angry and fat. And it's a very friendly city for like being a big city, but it's just full of so many angry fat guys because they're fat and they're like, I should have more space because my body's fat.
They love cigars. They love smoking cigars on a 90-degree day.
Yeah, cigars and like eating a big sandwich at their desk, and there's crumbs in their keyboard. And then they smoke 2 cigarettes before having a big sandwich, and it's like, my God, your heart.
All right, an hour into the podcast, I think we're gonna start talking about the biggest news that happened this week, which is the Myles
Garrett trade
to the Rams.
Good for the Rams. I'm sick of hearing about the fucking Rams. Sorry for hijacking the segment, but I'm just gonna go here.
Go for it.
I took some of those uplifting happy blend gummies, and they're kicking it. But either way, the Rams are not an appealing team to me. They're not a team that really has any character or identity or is interesting and fun. Like, let's look at their head coach. He's just kind of like an autism spectrum football guy who is conventionally attractive with spiky hair and a good physique. But his whole personality is he's like a monotone football robot who has a supermodel wife who just really cares about like being hot and buying stuff. They're like the perfect LA couple. They have big fake bodies and teeth. That's not interesting to me. Matt Stafford is like an aging Texan who like cannot wait to retire so he can go make the rounds on all of like the MAGA hate podcasts and just say like all his opinions about Pride Night for sports teams and like trans bathrooms. Like he just like chomping at the bit to do that with his big fake fucking horse teeth. And he's 39 and has back problems. and his wife is completely insane. Their best offensive player is like Pacific Islander Hitler, who has had so many concussions that he hates Jewish people now, and
He's basically
he
he's like a
chokes women.
groiper, like an
Yeah,
incel groiper guy, like a Nick
he's an
Fuentes
incel
red
groiper
herring.
guy. Yeah, that like loves Aiden Ross and hates women. Hates women so much that he physically abuses them. I'm just saying they're just like this weird like marketing and like PR wet dream brainchild to relocate a team that has a historical connection to Los Angeles and like is very recognizable. Um, as you know, it makes sense. This happened like mid 20 teens when the NFL was like exploding again, and becoming more of like, you know, like they're for the first time their franchises are getting into like the worth of like billions and billions, so the league is growing. They really are obsessed. Goodell, he wants his legacy to be Angeles. That's very, very important to him because it's never been able to stick. And so like they're gonna make it happen, god damn it, and another Super Bowl will do the trick. So like watch for this fucking team to get a bunch of bullshit calls on their way to like a very boring Super Bowl win. I just couldn't imagine something cooler happening to a less appealing and interesting franchise.
I will be shocked. Okay, so just to lay out the exact what's going on here, the Browns receiving defensive end Jared Verse, a 2027 first round pick, a 2028 second round pick, and a 2029 third round pick for Myles Garrett to the Rams.
Jared Verse is really good too.
And Jared Verse is a good player. Like I think that's what a lot of people are saying is that like, yeah, you guys kind of fumbled the bag with Myles Garrett, but like this has kind of been brewing for a couple of years. There's no. I mean,
not really. They got 9 years out of him.
Yeah,
they got 9 years out of him. Like they sold a bunch of 95 jerseys. They packed, they got attention when he broke a record in their jersey. Like they can like
be playing on NFL films the rest of the time for sure.
Yeah. But good for him. I like Myles Garrett. I know the Eagles were in on him too, but I don't think they were willing to match it. But apparently they were going to trade. They were offering to ship Jalen Carter and a first, but I think the Rams were asking for or the Browns wanted 2 firsts. And they weren't willing to do that, which like, I don't know. I would do that. Jalen Carter, 2 firsts for Myles Garrett. We're an automatic Super Bowl favorite because we have more. Okay, so like we had to absorb his salary, but then we re-signed Moro Ojimo, and we've already re-signed Jordan Davis. We still have a really good interior line. We don't know if Jalen Carter is going to be like in the next 3 to 4 years, like peak Aaron Donald, like we thought he was. Maybe he's injured and like he's already peaked.
Hey,
but.
I mean, speaking of Aaron Donald, I'm sure you've seen the rumors of that he's been like contacted by people and being like, is he going to rejoin the Rams?
Well, I mean, I think he is like
one crazy last season.
He's not denying the rumors. I think he wants to. It would take a lot of like compartmentalizing for me, but I would watch that. You know me, I'm a D-line guy. If they bring back Aaron Donald and have Aaron Donald, albeit like a 34, 35-year-old Aaron Donald who hasn't played football in 2 or 3 years, like it's going to kind of suck, honestly.
I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, I'd watch that Thursday night football game, that Monday night game. I'd check that out.
I think if the most likely thing of an Aaron Donald return is he comes back like at the very like right before like the trade deadline or something. Like they're not gonna wheel him out there week 1 and risk him getting hurt. Like if they're like 9-1 or whatever at the trade deadline, yeah, you might see that happen like for real.
I just don't see like, I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I think they have a really awesome head coach, and like this is cool that they have Myles Garrett now. But like with just a little bit of bad injury luck, that's not a very good team. Their depth is shockingly thin.
Yeah, I'd be shocked, because like jaw on the floor if Matt Stafford plays 17 games. I just don't see it happening.
This makes sense though. I get why now that they drafted Ty Simpson, because they were going to be giving up those picks. So like they wanted to get their they're like, yeah, we're gonna do something crazy. Probably they probably had this in the works for a while,
Yeah, they
and
have.
that makes sense why they jumped on Ty Simpson. That makes me feel better about that.
I was reading a thing in
Yeah.
the Athletic that said they contacted the Browns about Myles Garrett as early as 2022, and said no a few times. They kept going back, and then apparently at the owners meeting, the winter owners meetings this year is when it like got wings. And as far as Ty Simpson, did you see that his this leaked photo of his ACT scores?
No, are they bad?
They're pretty bad. He got 11 on his English and reading tests, which is like, I mean, he might be like illiterate, like for real. Or he's just he knew he was going to be a football player and was like not really trying to do the test or whatsoever, because it doesn't matter.
So I was a bad student. I think I'm like a relatively intelligent, like a decently smart person. I was a bad student. But I don't know. I did bad on the math section of my ACT, but I didn't do that bad. That's ridiculous, though.
I did horrible on the math. He only got 1 point worse than me on the math score. I'm not going to say it, but
English and reading were like the subjects on my ACT that like carried me, like got me into college because I did so bad on math. Like I knew I had to score high on English and reading, and I did. It's easy. It's literally you just read a thing and they ask you a question about what you read. It's not hard at all. I don't understand how you can't do that. That is so fucking silly to me. How can you not read something and then answer a question about it?
Yeah, English is. I mean, we're both. English comes easy to the two of us, so of course we're sitting.
Yeah, we
like,
speak
how could you not?
I'm a fluent English speaker, in fact.
Yeah, since I was a kid, I've been speaking English since I was a child. It's like a year old.
Yeah, I think it'd be really funny if Ty Simpson was like horrible. Like they were like forced to go to him this season, and he just like sucks.
And he can't because he can't read like the play sheet.
Yeah, he's like getting walloped out there. But if they truly are gonna have Myles Garrett,
if do the symbols like in college football,
who gives a shit who's a quarterback? I guess.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be interesting to see. These super teams rarely work out, but
and also the Rams. We talked about this earlier before we were recording too, about how the Rams have been all in for like 4 years straight, and they don't.
Yeah, give me a break.
Go for it.
I'm so fucking sick of the Rams.
He kind of after they won the Super Bowl in 2022, they had like a really bad season, and Sean McVay was like hinting that he was going to retire, and then they kind of like retooled and everything. Were ahead of schedule and were really good, but whether or not you're putting your feelings for the Rams aside, whoever listener, it's just I would just say go back and look at who was the odds-on favorite in June of the past few years. Like it's rarely,
yeah,
in all sports, like the number one seed or the best team doesn't always they lose they don't win the championship like most of the fucking time. And look at the Avalanche. They were the best team in hockey all year. They had the best record in hockey. They were the number one seed all fucking season. And they absolutely diarrheaed all over themselves in the Western Conference Finals. Like, it just doesn't always work out like that. So, but I think that's where we can end it today, unless you have any other thoughts.
Yeah, I have to issue a correction of my own.
Oh, please.
In last week's episode, I incorrectly stated that Skin Diamond won the 2011 internal release of the year award at the 2011 AVNs. It was not Skin Diamond. It wasn't Skin Diamond. It was Nicole Aniston. Skin Diamond didn't release her first boy-girl film till 2014. She was like an AVN newcomer of the year and a Pet House Playmate, a Pet House Pet of the Month in 2014. And she did win a bunch of AVNs in her brief career, but 2011 internal release was Nicole Aniston, not Skin Diamond. My apologies.
Thank you. Yeah,
we're all
about integrity here.
With my words. And both performers, goats in my opinion. different, obviously Skin is more of like an extreme and like bondage type of performer, and Nicole is, kind of like your more run of the mill, like, mill video performer. Not run of the mill, that's not fair, but like she's a little more of like a system, like, what do I want to say? Like she acts in more traditional roles and genres. But they can both like swallow like champions.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it there for today, folks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to our corrections. And we'll see you next week. We love you.
Okay.